Okay, live from Oracle Field in San Francisco, Ohtani ready to climb in for the Dodgers. Ohtani, hitting from the left-hand side of the plate, will be facing the Giants pitcher. The first pitch is on the way by Webb. Nope. Check that. Check that. Here we go. Ohtani waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate, hitting .258 with 5 homers and 11 ribbies. The first pitch on the way is a sinker down to first baseman Devers. He'll carry it to the bag for out number 1. Webb is on the mound for the Giants today. Devers at first, Arias at second, Adams at short, and Chapman at third for the Giants. They'll have an outfield of Ramos at left, Gilbert in center, and Lee in right field. Webb will be pitching to the catcher, Bailey behind the plate. In comes to the plate Freddie Freeman. Webb looks in, gets the sign from Bailey, and the pitch on the way outside, a 92-mile-an-hour sinker for ball 1. Just the start of things here in San Francisco. Dodgers dropping the first 2 games of the series, trying to at least salvage 1. Webb's pitch on the way high for ball 2, an 83-mile-an-hour sweeper that just misses. And now they're going to have a challenge. I think the Dodgers have a very good chance of winning this challenge. Actually, it was the Giants who challenged, and it's a strike. Check that. So now the count goes to 1-1. So 1-1 the count. Pitch on the way is outside for ball 2. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Freeman waiting in. The pitch is taken for called strike 2. 83-mile-an-hour sweeper. 2-2 count to Freddie Freeman from the left-hand side of the plate, hitting .299 this year with 3 home runs and 14 ribbies. Webb, the windup, the pitch. It's a ground ball hit sharply to second baseman Arias. He throws over to Devers for out number 2. 4-3 put out. Okay, so 7 pitches so far by Webb given up, and he's got 2 outs. That'll now bring up, hitting third, Teoscar Hernandez, the left fielder for the Dodgers. Teoscar swinging in from the right-hand side of the plate, faces the right-hander Webb. The pitch on the way, taken for called strike 1, 93-mile-an-hour sinker, just hitting the inside corner of the plate. Logan Webb to the mound. Winds up, the pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back by Hernandez, just a little outside that 93-mile-an-hour sinker, just missing. So now the count is 0-2 on that foul ball. Webb looks down to Bailey to get the sign. The pitch, inside for ball 1, 92-mile-an-hour sinker, just missing. The pitch on the way outside for ball 2, 86-mile-an-hour changeup. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Teoscar Hernandez. Just the start of things here in San Francisco. No score. Webb looks down to Bailey. Webb's wind up the pitch, swung on and missed, and down go the Dodgers and Teoscar. And the Dodgers now retired in order. The Giants will be coming up against Tyler Glasnow. The score at the end of a half an inning in San Francisco, the Dodgers 0, the Giants coming up. So Glasnow looking strong in his first couple of outings so far this season with the Dodgers. So they round up the Dodgers in the field. They'll have Hernandez in left, Pages in center, Tucker in right, and the infield will go Muncy at third base, Hassan Kim at shortstop, Freddie Freeman at first base, and Alex Freeland playing second base. Behind the plate is rushing, and on the mound, Tyler Glasnow. So the Dodgers, Glasnow will be facing the Giants, Adams, Arazi, and Chapman. Those will be the first three hitters coming up for the Giants in the bottom of the first inning. Just the start of things here. Thank you for tuning in to this broadcast. If you're enjoying it, please give it a thumbs up. I do greatly appreciate you coming to this channel and checking out the ball game with me today. As we're just about ready for things to start here in the bottom of the second inning, the Giants taking it to the Dodgers in the first two games of this series. Dodgers trying to desperately hang on and salvage one game of this series by winning today. For the Dodgers, after this game, they'll be hopping on a plane later on this afternoon and heading over to Los Angeles to play the Chicago Cubs for 3 games in Los Angeles, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then they play Miami coming in on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it'll be a 6-game homestand for the Dodgers, but for right now, it's all about the Giants and the Dodgers in Oracle Field. Tyler Glasnow this season in 4 starts with a 2-0 record with a 3.24 ERA. First pitch on the way, he's taken strike, 93 mile an hour, high and inside fastball. 0-1 the count. Arraez at the plate. The pitch swung on and missed. 0-2. Knuckle curve, 80 mile an hour. Check that out. Adams to the plate. Arazi on deck. Arias. Glasnow looks down to rushing to get the sign. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. So the count remains no balls, 2 strikes to Adams. Glasnow looking in. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Way high and outside, 96 mile an hour fastball that wasn't even close to the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Willy Adams. Adams hitting .237 with 3 home runs and 6 ribbies so far this season. 92 mile an hour slider outside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Glasnow, the windup, the pitch swung on and fouled back. 96 mile an hour fastball. So the count remains 2-2. Glasnow's thrown 6 pitches so far. Nobody out. Bottom of the first inning. No score here in Oracle Field in San Francisco. The pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Adams. So 1 up, 1 strikeout, and now that'll bring up the second baseman, Arias. Glasnow has been very impressive, like I say, in his early starts this year. And he starts out with a strikeout. Aris Arraez in now from the left-hand side of the plate. Arraez takes a sinker for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Arraez crunching in from the left-hand side of the plate. Looks down the right-hander. Glasnow high for ball 2. 95 mile an hour sinker. So now 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody on. 1 out. Bottom of the first. San Francisco with their first at-bats. No score so far. Glasnow pitches. The 2-0 pitch. High for ball 3. 95 mile an hour sinker. Arias hitting .300 this season with no home runs and 6 ribbies. Glasnow looks in, and the 3-0 pitch taken for called strike 1, 96 mile an hour sinker. So now the count is 3-1. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. 95-mile-an-hour high of fastball, sinker checklet, makes the count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back and out of play. 96-mile-an-hour sinker. So the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. On deck for the Giants is Chapman, the third baseman. O'Reilly's waving the bat back and forth. Let's see what Glasnow is going to do now with this next pitch. Pitch on the way, inside for ball 4, a 95-mile-an-hour sinker, and O'Reilly's takes his base. So that'll now bring up the third baseman Chapman with 1 on, 1 out here in Oracle Field. Max Chapman hitting .295 with 1 home run and 12 ribbies, waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. Glasnow, a quick check over at Rise at first. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1. 87-mile-an-hour slider. No strikes, 1 ball. Just the start of things here in San Francisco. Runner Arise takes a short lead away from first, and Chapman throws over there. He goes diving back, tagged by Freddie Freeman a little late. So Glasnow's now thrown 15 pitches so far in this game, and he's only got 1 out. Pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1. The pitch is way, there's a runner that goes Arise, and he's not nearly in time. He's in there easily, and the count is now 0-2. Meanwhile, to Max Chapman at the plate. So now Arise is in scoring position for the Giants. He had that one stolen easily. And 1 out. 0-2 the count to Matt Chapman. Waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. Glasnow with a long look down to Rushing. Gets the sign, and now Chapman's going to step out of the batter's box and then hop back in. So 0-2, no score, 1 out, runner at second. Glasnow's pitch. Low for ball 1. 97-mile-an-hour fastball just missing. Glasnow once again looking in to Rushing. Checks Arise at second. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and down goes Chapman. So now there's 2 outs, and Glasnow getting his 2 outs by striking out. Struck out the leadoff hitter Adams, and now he gets Chapman. That'll bring up the first baseman, Devers. So Devers hitting .237 so far this season. Glasnow's thrown 18 pitches, and his 19th pitch on the way, taken high for ball 1, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. This season, Devers has 2 home runs, 9 ribbies, hitting .237 from the left-hand side of the plate. Glasnow looks down, the pitch inside for ball 2, 96-mile-an-hour sinker. Rafael Devers waiting in. The 2-0 pitch swung on and fouled back. 88-mile-an-hour slider. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Devers, the first baseman for the Giants. Glasnow with a long look into Rushing to get the sign. Checks Arise at second. Now he's going to throw over there, covered by Hassan Kim. And Arise goes diving back. 2 outs now for the Giants in the bottom of the first inning. Glasnow has now thrown 21 pitches. And the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 96-mile-an-hour fastball makes the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Glasnow looking in, and now he's going to have a meeting with Rushing, who's going to come out to the mound, have a couple of words with him. Glasnow's thrown 22 pitches so far in this first inning, so if he plans on staying around this game, he's going to need to lower that count indeed on the next couple of few innings from this point forward. He cannot afford to keep throwing 20 pitches per inning. He's not going to last long at all. So the umpires now all converging for a small meeting here. Third base, first base, second base, umpire, the home plate, having their own meeting. And what could they be discussing? Okay, so to reset, 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 balls, runner at second. Bottom of the first inning, no score, just the start of things here. First baseman, Devers, on the left-hand side. The plate, the swung on and missed, and down goes Devers. So Glasnow strikes out the side, but it took him 23 pitches to do it. The score at the end of 1 complete inning in San Francisco, the Giants 0, the Dodgers coming up to bat with 0. So now the Dodgers have Glasnow, like I said, he's really going to have to tame down his pitches if he plans on sticking around this game for any length of period. I will be right back after this short break. Okay, back here at San Francisco after that short break. So no score in the first inning. And for the Dodgers, they will have right fielder Tucker will now be leading off this half of the inning with Muncy and Pages coming to the plate. So the averages have taken a little bit of a beating the last few days here in San Francisco. And Tucker, who was hitting in the second slot in the lineup, has now been dropped to the 4th spot, hitting .233. Tucker, the high-price free agent that came over this season from being with the Cubs last season, now checking in from the left-hand side of the plate. So Tucker has had a bit of a tough series, 0 for 8 so far. The pitch on the way, taken, called, strike 1. Just hitting the black part of the corner there, on the inside corner. This season, 23 games, swung on and a sharp ground ball hit to Webb. He'll lob hand it over to Devers at first, and out number 1 is recorded. So 1 out for the Dodgers in this top of the second inning, and now that'll bring up the third baseman, Max Muncy. Muncy brings a .293 batting average into this game with 8 home runs and 9 ribbies. He's got a .257 career average against Webb. The pitch is way outside, 91-mile-an-hour sinker for ball 1. So Webb has kept his pitch count down. He's only thrown 15 pitches. He's got 1 out here in the second inning. Webb rocks and deals. The pitch way outside. Sweeper, 84 miles An hour, 2 balls and no strikes. Muncy looking in from the left-hand side of the plate. Webb delivers. It's taken for called strike one. 85-mile-an-hour sweeper. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Max Muncy. Waiting on deck is Andy Pages, the center fielder. Muncy waiting in. The pitch called strike 2. 93-mile-an-hour sinker. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Webb looks down and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Taken low for ball 3. 87-mile-an-hour changeup, just missing. Webb's now thrown 19 pitches so far. Now the windup and the 3-2 pitch. It's a check swing foul at the plate. So now Webb is at the 20 pitch mark. It took Glasnow 23 pitches just to get out of the first inning. Webb deals the pitch way outside for ball 4. And just like that, the Dodgers have the third baseman Muncy on first base. There's 1 out. And Alex Pages will now come to the plate. Pages hitting .353 this season with 5 home runs and 21 RBIs. Leads the major league with his batting average. In 24 games, the pitch on the way swung on and fouled back. Sinker, 91 mile an hour. So Muncy now back at first base with a short lead. No balls, 1 strike to Pages. Webb looks down, gets the sign from Bailey. The pitch on the way, high for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, a 90-mile-an-hour cutter. Second inning, 1 on. 1-1 pitch on the way, way inside for ball 2, 92-mile-an-hour sinker. No score, second inning. 1 on, 1 out for the Dodgers here in the top of the second. Pages to the plate. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and lined foul along the first base side. 93-mile-an-hour sinker. So the count is now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Pages. Webb delivers the 2-2 pitch way high, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So now he's got a 3-2 count. So the count is full. Let's see if Max Muncy will be moving on this pitch. 1 out. Trying to at least stay out of the double play. The pitch on the way, swung on, a sharp ground ball hit to the short baseman Chapman. He makes the long throw over to Devers at first to get Pages, and sliding into second safely is Max Muncy. So the Dodgers did avoid the double play there since Muncy was on the move. And that's 2 outs, and that'll bring up for the Dodgers catcher Dalton Rushing, hitting .414 in 9 games with 7 home runs and 13 ribbies. 5 home runs versus breaking balls. And the first pitch on the way, 92-mile-an-hour sinker, fouled back up and out of play. 2 outs, 1 on. No score here in the second inning. It's the Giants and the Dodgers. Dalton Rushing looking in from the left-hand side of the plate. Webb checks the runner, Muncy at second, and the pitch on the way, low for ball 1. 86-mile-an-hour changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Webb's 1-1 pitch, swung and missed by Dalton. 90-mile-an-hour cutter. So Webb has now thrown 30 pitches. 2 outs, 1 on. And he's Dalton Rushing waiting. The 1-2 pitch swung on, and it's a little dribbler into center field for a base hit. Rounding third and coming to score is Muncy, sliding at home plate. Just like that, the Dodgers score. And on the throw to the plate, Dalton Rushing will take second base. So now Rushing's at second. The Dodgers are back in business here. So it looked like they were on the verge of going out with no runs in this half of the inning. Dalton Rushing lines a blooper into center field for a base hit, bringing home Max Muncy, rounding third from second base and scoring, making the score Dodgers 1, Giants 0 here in the top of the second inning. And that will now bring up left-hand hitting Ha-Seong Kim. Ha-Seong Kim takes a strike. So 1 strike. Kim hitting .300 with 1 home run and 4 ribbies. The pitch on the way inside, but swung on and missed. 86-mile-an-hour sweeper. So the count is now no balls and 2 strikes to Ha-Seong Kim. Rushing away from second. The pitch low for ball 1. 87-mile-an-hour changeup, just missing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers 1, Giants 0, top of the second inning. Webb looks into Bailey, checks the runner Dalton at second, and his 35th pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this broadcast. I greatly appreciate it. Dodgers leading 1-0. If you're enjoying the broadcast, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll be here all season long doing Dodger baseball. The 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. And down goes Kim and the Dodgers, but not until they score 1 run. And the score after 1.5 innings in Oracle Field in San Francisco, the Dodgers 1, the Giants 0. So the Dodgers, now with Glasgow on the mound, got to really bear down and hold on to this lead. Let's see if they can make 1 run stand up, and for how long can they do it. Now for the Giants, they will have left fielder Ramos coming in, followed by the right fielder batting second, and then the DH will be Brennan today. So the Dodgers dropping the first 2 games here against San Francisco, trying to salvage this game before going home tonight, catching a late afternoon flight, heading back to Los Angeles to play the Cubs over the weekend, and then the Marlins will be in town. The Miami Marlins will come to town for 3 games, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then the Dodgers will have a day off 1 week from today and fly on over to St. Louis. So it'll be busy for the Dodgers. This is their busy stretch right now because their last day off was 1 week ago. 1 week ago today, they had a day off. They went to Colorado, and then they're going to be hitting it hard from today and then into the Chicago series and the Miami series. So if they can survive this without any wear and tear and injuries, it will be a blessing for them. And now they got to make sure that they don't go too deep in the bullpen also for today's game, since they dropped the first 2 games. So Glasnow throwing 23 pitches in the first half of the inning is about ready to check on in here for the bottom of the second inning for the Giants. So Ramos now checks in from the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch on the way is low for ball 1. 94-mile-an-hour sinker. Ramos waiting in. The pitch taken for called strike 1. 94-mile-an-hour sinker. So Ramos is hitting .274 with 2 home runs and 13 ribbies. The left fielder Ramos, if you please. Right-hander Glasnow deals the pitch, swung on and missed. 89-mile-an-hour slider. So that breaks the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck for the Giants is the right fielder Lee. But right now it's all about Ramos trying to make something happen for the Giants, who trail this game 1-0. And the 1-2 pitch from Glasnow. It's a ground ball hit sharply to the shortstop. Oh, he boots it and it gets by him. And on safely is Ramos to first base. So Ha-Seong Kim was definitely looking to try to glove that and throw it before it was even in his glove. So that's a gift runner awarded to first base there. And indeed, they will tag him with an error as he just trickled off of his glove and escaped past him. So 1 on, no outs on an error. Let's see if the Dodgers can get out of this inning without allowing that error to come back to hurt them. It did in the first game against the Giants. Glasnow's wind up, the pitch, high. Actually, it was a sinker that just hit the black part of the plate for strike 1. Jung-Ho Lee hitting .262 with 1 homer and 9 RBIs thus far in the season. 1 on, and the 0-1 count on the way is taken low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, a 90-mile-an-hour sinker. Lee looks over to third, gets the sign. Now back up, and the pitch. Swung on right over to Ha-Seong Kim. He's going to step on the bag, throw across to first to Freddie Freeman, and double up. So how do you do? Ha-Seong Kim let the runner on first, but then he quickly gloved it, tagged second base, threw him out, and then threw over to first base to get Kim. So very good way to redeem yourself on that one as Kim makes good, and the Dodgers are now back into things here. There's 2 outs. Glasnow deals the pitch. 96-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. Glasnow's now thrown 30 pitches. 31 pitches. Let's see if they can get him out right now out of this inning and not throw any more. 2 outs. No balls, 1 strike. And the designated hitter, Brennan, is now to the plate. Left hand Brennan waiting in, facing the right-hander Glasnow. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Now 0-2. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Bottom of the second inning, Dodgers 1, Giants 0. Nobody on. 2 outs for the Giants. And an 0-1 count to the designated hitter, Brennan. Glasnow looking in, and now the umpire is going to come out and call timeout. He's going to point to his wrist that Glasnow took too long. He got a violation, and now that'll make the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's see how they click it in. Glasnow now looks in, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and down go the Giants and Brennan. So Glasnow only threw 34 pitches now thus far in this game, so he really did recover, only throwing 11 pitches in that half of the inning. The score, after 2 complete innings in Oracle Field in San Francisco, the Dodgers 1, the Giants 0. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, so for the Dodgers, now coming up for them in the top of the third inning, they'll be sending up second baseman Alex Freeland, and then they go to the top of the order, D.H. Ohtani, and then the first baseman, Freddie Freeman. 1-0 Dodgers leading against Webb. Webb has struck out 2, walked 1, and given up a run batted in. The Dodgers, Glasnow has pitched very well. He's got 4 strikeouts and only allowed 1 walk and no runs thus far into the first 2 innings. Webb now looking in, facing Alex Freeland for the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch is ball 1, 92 mile an hour fastball. Alex Freeland hitting 207. The pitch on the way is low, 85 mile an hour sweeper for ball 2. So Freeland's been handling it, doing quite well for the injured Mookie Betts, who's been out. Freeland looking in. And Webb's pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1, 85 mile an hour changeup. Looked as though that might have been a ball. But luckily there's no challenge, as it shows that it indeed was a ball. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and Webb's 40th pitch on the way is a high fly ball. Back under it is the third baseman Chapman. He's got it for out number 1. So 1 out. Webb's thrown 40 pitches here in the top of the 3rd inning. Dodgers 1, Giants nothing. And now we go to the top of the order with Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani grounded out in his first plate appearance, hitting .256 with 5 homers and 11 ribbies so far. Pitch is taken low, 86 mile an hour changeup for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch taken for called strike 1, 87 mile an hour changeup. 42 pitches given up by Webb. Ohtani waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. The right-hander Webb delivers way high and outside. 93 mile an hour fastball missing. Makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. We're in the 3rd inning in Oracle Field in San Francisco. The 2-1 pitch is taken for a strike, a sweeper just hitting the black part of the plate. Now the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ohtani waving the bat back and forth, waiting for Webb. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and down goes Ohtani on a 93 mile an hour fastball. And that will be Webb's 3rd strikeout of the game. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up first baseman Freddie Freeman. Freeman hitting .295 in this season. Pitch on the way is high and way outside for ball 1. 93 mile an hour fastball. Dodgers 1, Giants nothing. In the 3rd inning, 2 outs, nobody on. Freeman waiting in. The pitch swung on and a sharp ground ball hit through by the left fielder and into right field. Ramos picks it up, throws it on in to the shortstop Adams, but not until Freddie Freeman is waving his arms in celebration at first base with that base hit. So a 2-out base hit will now bring up the 3rd hitter in the lineup, Teoscar Hernandez. So the infield was way shifted around. Interestingly enough, had the infield just been positioned normally, that would have been an easy out. Okay, pitch on the way outside for ball 1. 86 mile an hour changeup. Teoscar Hernandez striking out in his first plate appearance, hitting .253 with 4 home runs and 13 ribbies so far this season. Waving the bat back and forth from the first base side. And the windup. The pitch way outside for ball 2. 85 mile an hour sweeper just missing. 2 outs, 3rd inning. Dodgers 1, Giants 0. On deck for the Dodgers is Tucker. Hernandez waiting in. 2-0. The pitch. It's a sharp ground ball hit over the mound to the second baseman. Rossi, he'll take it to second base, tag it, and down go the Dodgers. So that'll do it for the Dodgers in the top of the 3rd inning. The Dodgers, 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error in this game. The Giants, no runs, and no hits and no errors. So into the bottom of the third inning will go in this game. The Giants will now bring up the center fielder Gilbert, followed by the catcher Bailey, and then the shortstop Adams. Dodgers leading 1 ball, no strikes here in the bottom of the third inning, trying to salvage the first game of this 3-game homestand. They desperately do not want to get swept going into their homestand with starting with Chicago tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's game against the Cubs at Dodger Stadium will start at 7:10, followed by a Saturday game starting at 4:15 in the afternoon, late afternoon start time, and then the 1 o'clock start on Sunday. So 3 different games, 3 different start times, all against the same Chicago Cubs. Those games will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But back to live action in this one in Oracle Field. Dodgers leading 1-0 after 2.5 innings. In scores around the league, the Detroit Tigers were victorious over the Milwaukee Brewers 5-4. The Atlanta Braves beat the Washington Nationals 7-2. And so those 2 games have gone final. So Blake Snell, 1+ innings, 3 hits, rehab start in Single A. So he's trying to rehabilitate himself back to the major leagues, has thrown through 31 pitches. So he's now here in the dugout after he had his 1 rehab start in Triple A. In Single A, check that. So 1 ball, no strikes to the center fielder Gilbert. Glasnow deals pitch high for ball 2. Knuckle curve. So 2 balls and no strikes. Drew Gilbert waiting in, fastball, swung on and missed. Check that 95-mile-an-hour sinker. 2 balls, 1 strike. Glasnow looks in. The windup, the pitch, taken low and inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Glasnow threw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that just missed. And the pitch. Swung on, hit a sharply ground ball to Alex Freeland at second, gloves it, throws across to Freeman in time for the out. So a 4-3 put out and down goes Gilbert, the center fielder, and up comes Bailey. Bailey damaged the Dodgers. And last night, he hit a 3-run shot that sent the Dodgers on the losing side. So now up to the plate comes Bailey, hitting from the left-hand side of the plate against the right-hander Glasnow. Pitch is taken a knuckle curve, 79-mile knuckle curve for ball 1. Patrick Bailey hitting .155 in 19 games this season. 1 home run and 4 ribbies. Game-winning home run in 7th last night. So that 1 home run indeed happened to be the game-winning home run for the Giants. So even though it's only been 1 home run, he's made it stand up and count. 22 career home runs, 7 home runs in 7th inning or later versus the Dodgers. Glasnow's windup, the 2-0 pitch is in the dirt for ball 3, 97-mile-an-hour sinker. Glasnow's now thrown 41 pitches here. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Glasnow looking in. Pitch taken for called strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Luckily, the Giants did not challenge that. That would have been a ball 4. The pitch on the way. Taken for called strike 2. Suddenly, what would have been ball 4 a pitch ago is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Glasnow throwing 41 pitches so far in this game. 43 pitches. Glasnow kind of being very careful against Bailey, who's hitting 155. But he did crack that home run last night to Wreckham. The pitch, a swung on and a high fly ball to the center fielder Pages. He's got it. So 1 foot on the warning track. Pages goes to make that catch. So that'll bring 2 outs now. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the Giants in Adams. Adames checking in from the right-hand side of the plate. Pitch way high, ball 1. Almost some chin music there for Adams. Glasnow looks in, and the pitch way high for ball 2, 88-mile-an-hour slider. So suddenly, Glasnow, who looked like he was totally in command of this half of the inning, has gone wild with 2 very high pitches. Let's see what he can do in the third one to Adams. The pitch just a little outside, 97-mile-an-hour sinker for ball 3. So Glasnow was very fortunate that ball was not challenged. Otherwise, he would have 1 on right now with 1 out. And he gets a strike here with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball or sinker. Makes the count 3 balls, 1 strike. Dodgers leading 1-0 against the Giants. Glasnow, the wind up the pitch. It's a high fly ball, and behind the plate is rushing. He's there. He's got it, and down go the Giants in the third inning, as what looked to possibly have been a promising inning for them fizzled out very quickly. The score after 3 complete innings in Oracle Field in Chicago: the Dodgers 1, the Giants 0. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this broadcast. If you're enjoying it, please give it a thumbs up. Any support to this channel will be greatly appreciated. You can even subscribe if you'd like to see Dodger baseball all season long. I'll be here calling the games throughout the year. The Dodgers trying to salvage this last game of the series and win after dropping the first 2 games of the series. They will be flying out to Los Angeles tonight, late afternoon, to play the Cubs for 3 games in Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Friday night's game will be a 7:10 start. For the Dodgers, they will have right fielder Tucker coming to the plate, followed by third baseman Max Muncy, and then the center fielder Andy Pages. 1-0 Dodgers lead. Glasnow he's pitched quite well. He hasn't allowed a hit so far against the Giants. He has struck out 4 Giants and only allowed 1 walk. The Dodgers, on the other hand, Webb has pitched quite well himself, striking out 3, allowing 1 walk. He has given up 2 hits and 1 run. So 1-0 Dodgers lead as we go into the as we go into the top of the 4th inning. Let's see what the Dodgers are going to do now at the plate. The pitch swung on and a high fly ball to the right center. It's going to go to the wall and up the alley. Picking it up as the center fielder Gilbert throws it in, but standing up at second base with a double is right fielder Kyle Tucker. So Tucker doing the little Freddie Freeman dance at second base, and the first ball swinging, and a deep shot hit up the alley all the way to the wall, finally retrieved by the center fielder Gilbert. And now that'll bring up third baseman Max Muncy coming up. Muncy from the left-hand side of the plate looks in. There was a shot hit to dead center field. Back goes Gilbert over his head. It's going to bounce off the wall, picked up at the warning track as that ball's thrown in. And now on the wild throw, sliding headfirst, coming in to score is Tucker. Tucker had initially stopped at third base, but then that throw was mishandled from Gilbert into the shortstop, Adams, and Tucker took all liberties and advantages of it. Meanwhile, with all those throws around the diamond, hustling, Max Muncy goes to second base with a double. That was a shot hit way over the head of Gilbert. He played it nicely off the wall, but by the time he threw it in, it was mishandled. Actually, the cutoff man, shortstop Arise, butchered that, and that allowed Tucker to come sliding in headfirst to home plate. Pages first pitch on the way, a 91-mile-an-hour cutter, swung on and missed for strike one. Dodgers 2, Giants 0, 1 on, no outs here in the top half of the fourth in Oracle Field in San Francisco. There's a shot hit down to the third baseman, Chapman. He long throw to get him at first base to Devers, and holding on at second base is Muncy. So Muncy doesn't dare move. Chapman keeps Muncy from advancing and then throws out Andy Pages running down the line. So Dalton Rushing, the catcher for today's game, behind the plate now comes in from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch taken for called strike one, high and just hitting the black part of the plate for strike one. Dalton Rushing, 10 RBIs since April 15th, second in Major League Baseball. Gets the performance spotlight of this game. Pitch on the way, swung on, and a dribbler fouled behind the plate. Now that makes the count 0-2. 1 out, 1 on for the Dodgers here in the top of the fourth inning. Dodgers 2, Giants 0. Dalton Rushing, swinging in from the left-hand side of the plate. Checks the runner Muncy at second. The pitch swung on, and a high fly ball hustling over for it is Ramos in left field at the line, makes the catch, and in foul territory, throws it in quickly and keeps Max Muncy at second base. So now 2 outs, and Ha-Seong Kim, the shortstop, will check in. Dodgers 2, Giants 0 here in the top of the fourth inning. Kim struck out in his first plate appearance, hitting .290 with 1 home run and 4 ribbies. Muncy away from second base, not really being held on. Webb now comes off the rubber, looking over at Muncy. .57 pitches Webb has given up so far. Pitch on the way, swung on, and line shot into left field for a base hit. Muncy's going to round third, coming to the plate, the tag, the slide, he's in there! And just like that, the Dodgers score 2 runs in this top of the fourth inning, making the score Dodgers 3, San Francisco 0. Max Muncy was motoring on down that line. He had his mind made up. He was going on contact. As soon as that ball was hit, Muncy was on his horse, rounding third, and the play was very close at the plate, but Muncy just getting that burst of energy to outrun the throw. So nicely done as he tagged home plate with his hand going by. Meanwhile, back to live action, Alex Freeland, the left-handed hitting second baseman to the plate, takes strike one. 2 outs, Ha-Seong Kim advancing to second on that throw. The windup, the pitch in the dirt for ball 1, 87-mile-an-hour changeup. Webb has now thrown 60 pitches so far in 4 innings. Freeland fouled out in his first plate appearance. The 1-1 pitch on the way, taken low for ball 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Webb has thrown 61 pitches. Dodgers leading 3-0. Looking in. The pitch taken for called strike 2. 85-mile-an-hour sweeper. That was really a textbook way to run the bases if you were to look at the way Muncy did that. He left perfectly on contact, knew he was coming home, and then as he slid by the tag by the catcher, Bailey at the plate, he tapped his hand on the home plate to avoid all being tagged and score the run. 92-mile-an-hour cutter makes the count now full for Alex Freeland. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. No doubt Kim will be leaving as soon as this pitch leaves the hand of Webb. And there goes Kim. The pitch is taken for called strike 3, and down goes Freeland. And let's see if he's going to appeal that. And it looks like he will ask for a challenge. Dodgers challenge, and the pitch is indeed, taken low for ball 4. And the crowd grumbles, and taking his base at first base is Alex Freeland, and Ohtani now comes to the plate. So that was a big missed call, actually a nice reversal for the Dodgers, because instead of being the end of the inning, they now have 2 on, 2 outs, but they got Shohei Ohtani to the plate. 0 for 2 so far in this game, grounding out in both plate appearances. So Kim now away from second. Freeland away from first. Webb looking down, making sure everybody's on the same page how they're going to play it. The first pitch swung on and missed by Ohtani in the dirt. 87-mile-an-hour changeup for strike 1. Webb has now thrown 65 pitches. Waving in from the left-hand side of the plate is Ohtani. 2 on. The pitch swung on and dribbled foul along the first base side. Ohtani hitting .253 so far with is 0 for 2 tonight in today's game. Webb has thrown 66 pitches. Dodgers leading 3-0 here in the top of the 4th. 2 on, 2 out. Switch pitch on the way is fouled away. 86-mile-an-hour changeup. Makes the count now 1. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Webb looking in, and the 0-2 pitch swung on and tapped foul right in front of the catcher. And that'll now make the count no balls, 2 strikes. 68 pitches by Webb so far. To the count to Shohei. The pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Ohtani and the Dodgers. An 87-mile-an-hour changeup got him, but not until the Dodgers score 2 runs in that half of the inning and make the score now Dodgers 3, Giants 0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning in Oracle Field. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, back to live action here in San Francisco's Oracle Field as we go into the bottom of the 4th inning side of the inning for the Giants, who will be coming up to the plate, bringing second baseman Arise, third baseman Chapman, and the first baseman Devers to the plate. Those will be the first 3 batters coming up. Dodgers leading 3-0 with 5 hits and 1 error. The Giants, no runs, no hits, and 1 error. So a no-hitter by Glasnow into the bottom of the 4th inning. I guess This isn't when you start talking about it. Usually, no-hitters aren't really taken that serious until they start hitting the 6th inning. We're only in the 4th. But still, it's something to chat about as we wait until we get there. Dodgers 3, Giants 0. The pitch on the way is way outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Luis Arraez. He's walked and stole a base today, hitting .300 from the left-hand side of the plate on the season. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1, fastball. So the count is now 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch. It's a shot lined into center field, right in front of the center fielder, Pages. He picks it up and retrieves it back in, and now the leadoff hitter is aboard for the Giants. And that'll bring up now with 1 on and no outs, Max Chapman, the third baseman, coming to the plate. Max Chapman waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch taken low for ball 1. A slider, 91-mile-an-hour slider just missing. So 1 ball, no strikes. 1 on, no outs. Dodgers 3, Giants 0, bottom of the 4th inning. Glasnow looks into Rushing, throws over to first base, diving back is Arraez into first base. Freddie Freeman gives the tag, but to no avail. Looking in is Chapman waiting. The pitch swung on and missed. 97-mile-an-hour sinker. 1 ball, 1 strike. Glasnow looking in, gets the sign from Rushing. And his 55th pitch to Rushing as a ground ball hits sharply to Muncy. He feeds second baseman. It's on Kim over to first base. Double play. They punch him out. Just like that, a punch out of Muncy. 5-4-3 double play. Muncy immediately gloving that ball nicely, throwing it over to Freeland at second base, over to Muncy, over to Freeman, just to beat out the hustling Chapman running down the line. So 2 outs, and Glasnow's fired up. He still is yet, and there's now a swung on a miss by Devers. So Rafael Devers, 0 for 1, .235 average. The pitch swung on and lined back, foul and out of play. Devers hitting .235, 0 for 1 today. Glasnow's now thrown 57 pitches. The count is 0-2. Glasnow, 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Pitch on the way high for a ball 1. 96-mile-an-hour fastball just missing. Devers waiting in, and the pitch on the way. Called strike 3, curveball, 82-mile-an-hour, got him, and down go the Giants. And the score at the end of 4 complete innings in Oracle Field, the Dodgers 3, Giants 0, but they did salvage 1 hit to break up the no-hitter for Glasnow. The score at the end of 4 complete, Dodgers 3, Giants 0. Let me take a quick break. I'll be right back after this for the Dodgers top of the 5th inning. Okay, back here at Oracle Field in San Francisco. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this broadcast of the Giants and the Dodgers. Dodgers leading the Giants into the top of the fifth inning, 3-0. And the first pitch on the way to Hernandez is whacked into left field for a base hit, and Hernandez is aboard. That'll now bring up right fielder Kyle Tucker. So Webb, hoping to get out of... Check that. Teoscar Hernandez 0 for 2 now checking in at the plate. I do apologize. We're back now to live action. Teoscar Hernandez to the plate, taking a sweeper for 83 miles an hour for strike one. 0-2 Hernandez is, hitting .250. The pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Oh, and 2 the count. Waiting in, Webb winds and deals. The pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Teoscar Hernandez, Webb's 5th strikeout of the game. Webb has now served up 73 pitches. We're in the top of the 5th inning. So there's now 2 outs for the Dodgers here in the top of the 5th. Kyle Tucker hitting 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Hitting .239 average with 3 home runs. Waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. Nobody on. There's a sharp ground ball hit sharply into right field and picked up by the right fielder Lee and thrown in. So with 2 outs, Tucker is aboard. And that'll now bring up Max Muncy. Muncy's had quite a game, being right in the thick of this, starting double plays, scoring a run, hustling around, hitting deep ball over the center fielder's head, getting an RBI. So Muncy's played quite well. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and now at bat, Max Muncy, .301 average. With his activity, he's gone over the 300 mark for today, with a walk, a double, and 2 runs scored. Waiting in. Webb now ready to serve up his 76th pitch. It's a ground ball comebacker to Webb. He underhands it to Devers, and down go the Dodgers. So the Dodgers go down in the top of the 5th inning, but the score remains Dodgers 3, Giants 0, as we'll move to the bottom of the 5th inning. So we've been at it a little more than 1 hour and 10 minutes in this game, so a kind of a fast-moving game. More than halfway done. We're actually, right there on the halfway side of this. Exactly halfway now to the end of this, and the Dodgers leading 3-0. Dodgers 6 hits and 1 error. The Giants no runs, 1 hit and 1 error. And for the Giants coming up on this bottom of the 5th inning will be Ramos, Lee, and the designated hitter, Brennan. Let's see how the Dodgers are going to play this here. Glasnow has only given up 1 hit, and he has struck out 5 Giants, only allowed 1 walk. So he has been in command with his pitches, only allowing 1 walk and 1 hit with the 5 strikeouts. So into the bottom of the 5th inning goes Glasnow. After this inning, he will officially be the pitcher of record, going 5 innings. Webb is now officially the pitcher of record, trailing 3-0. Pitch on the way from Glasnow is right down the middle, 97-mile-an-hour sinker for called strike one. Waiting in, the pitch swung on, foul back, 91-mile-an-hour slider. No balls, 2 strikes. Dodgers 3, Giants 0. Ramos waiting at the plate, leading off this 5th inning for the Giants. Glasnow looking in, gets the sign from Rushing, and the 0-1 pitch on the way, taken outside for a ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ramos 0-1 for the day, with a .297 batting average. Waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind up, the pitch swung on, and down goes Ramos for out number 1. And for Glasnow's 6th strikeout. So Glasnow has now struck out half a dozen Giants in less than 5 innings of work here in Oracle Field in San Francisco. Now coming to the plate, the right fielder Lee, checking in from the left-hand side of the plate. And the pitch swung on and lined foul into the photographer's well along the first base side of the field. 0-1 the count. Lee waiting in. Glasnow, the wind-up, the pitch is low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 66 pitches so far by Glasnow in this game. The wind-up, the pitch, it's a high fly ball into center field, but waiting is Pages. He's got it for out number 2. So that was a major league fly ball, but just in front of the warning track and waiting for it was Pages. He had plenty of time to get under that ball because it was so high. So now, after giving up 67 pitches, Glasnow has 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. So he's 1 out away from being the official pitcher of record, leading 3-0 here. Pitch on the way is in the dirt, bounces and out of play for ball 1. Knuckle curve, 81-mile-an-hour knuckle curve, if you please, to the designated hitter, Will Brennan. Struck out in his other plate appearance. 0 for 1 today. Glasnow looks down, gets the sign from Rushing. The pitch taken. So now we're going to have a pitcher challenge Glasnow. We're certain that was a strike. Let's see what happens. The count is now 2 balls, no strikes. Dodgers challenge, and it does indeed hit the black part of the plate. So that changes everything. So instead of it being a 2-0 count to Brennan, it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Glasnow looks down after appealing, and rightfully so, getting it his way. This 70th pitch on the way, high and way outside, a sinker, 98-mile-an-hour. So now it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Glasnow looking in again. And the pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play by Brennan. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Waiting in. 71 pitches Glasnow's thrown, but he's only remarkably given up just 1 hit. The pitch swung on, line shot foul along the first baseline. Knuckle curve. Count is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brennan waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. And the pitch. Swung on, and a little sharp shortstop Hassan Kim picks it up, throws to Freeman for the out, and down go the Giants. That'll be a 6-3 putout. And the score after 5 complete, in Oracle Field in San Francisco. Dodgers 3, Giants 0. Ha-Seong Kim gloving that just near the second base bag and throwing him out quickly. So the Giants, after looking like they were for real the first 2 games, suddenly now finding themselves struggling just to get a second hit in this game against Glasnow. Dodgers leading 3-0, and they will now be bringing up center fielder Andy Pages, catcher Dalton Rushing, and Ha-Seong Kim, the shortstop, will come up for the Dodgers in the top of the 6th inning. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, back here at Oracle Field in San Francisco with the Dodgers leading 3-0 over the Giants. Dodgers 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Now Pages waits in. The first pitch is line shot to the right fielder, waiting there, and he's got it at the warning track. Goes Lee to glove it. So right in the warning track that ball was, but Lee had a beat on it all the way for out number 1. First ball swinging, 1 out, and bringing up catcher Dalton Rushing. 3-0 Dodgers lead. 1 for 2, an RBI and a single, hitting .419 average so far this season. Pitch taken low and inside for ball 1. 93 mile an hour slider. 1 ball, no strikes. Rushing, waiting, and pitch. Ooh, hits some. 93 mile an hour fastball. Plucks Rushing on the ribs. Rushing slams down his bat, gets rid of the elbow gear, the chin gear, and trots over to first base looking over at Webb. He will be sore tomorrow, right in the rib cage. So, out number 1, we got 1 on with 1 out. Webb's now thrown 79 pitches. What's he going to do in his 80th pitch? The pitch to Kim is taken for called strike 1. 83 mile an hour sweeper. Top of the 6th inning, Ha-Seong Kim 1 for 2 with an RBI and a single, hitting .313 this season. Waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch low for ball 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ha-Seong Kim. Away from first base is Dalton Rushing with a conservative lead. The pitch swung on, a line shot down to the second baseman. Arise, he flees to Adams, back to first base. Devers for the double play. Just like that, a 4-6-3 double play, and the Giants double up the Dodgers and end them in the top of the 6th inning. Check that. Now we're going to see if he did. Nope, they're going to go for it. That was it. So down go the Dodgers on that one. It looks like they were trying to appeal, but to no avail. So now that'll make it, after 5.5 innings, the Dodgers 3, the Giants 0. Here in Oracle Field. Scores from around the league as we look at what's happening in other games so far this afternoon. Let's see if we can pull up our scoreboard here and see how the others are doing. There we go. Detroit Tigers managed to beat the Brewers 5-4. Nationals lose to the Braves 7-2. And another game that is... So those are the only two finals we have so far. Another game in progress in the bottom of the fifth. The White Sox won. The Diamondbacks won. So for the Giants in the bottom of the sixth inning, they will now bring up center fielder Gilbert, the catcher Bailey, and then the top of the order of the Doms. The shortstop will be hitting third in this half of the inning. So it'll be Gilbert, Bailey, and Adams to lead off here. And let's see what Glasnow can do now. He has pitched remarkably, only allowing one hit, and he's managed to strike out 6 Giants. Very, very good performance. Only allowing one walk, indeed. So Gilbert, the center fielder, now coming to the plate for the Giants, trying to desperately get something started here as this game's getting a little bit late now into the bottom of the sixth. Glasnow's 5 innings of work has thrown 73 pitches, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Pitch on the way, high for ball 1. Center fielder Drew Gilbert grounded out in his previous plate appearance. Looks into Glasnow. The pitch taken for called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 95-mile-an-hour sinker. So 1-1 the count. The pitch way inside for ball 2. 96-mile-an-hour sinker. 2 balls, 1 strike. Glasnow's pitch on the way is sinker, 94 miles an hour, 2-2 count. Strike 2. Glasnow's thrown 77 pitches, so if he can get out of this inning with minimal pitches given up, let's see if Roberts lets him do the 7th inning. But for now, we're all about the 6th. There's a sharp ground ball hit to the Alex Freeland, going to his right, throws to his left, and he got the hustling center fielder Gilbert down the first baseline. As down goes the Giants there. Nicely played by Alex Freeland at second base. Glasnow has now thrown 78 pitches, and there's 1 out. Patrick Bailey, the shortstop coming in, flied out in his previous plate appearance, was the big hero last night with a 3-run shot. Glasnow's pitch taken for called strike 1, knuckle curve right down the plate for strike 1. 79 pitches Glasnow's thrown up. What's he going to come up with on his 80th pitch? The pitch. Swung on and missed, high riding fastball. 95-mile-an-hour sinker. No balls, 2 strikes to Bailey. Glasnow's thrown 80 pitches. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and a shot to right field, but there waiting is Tucker. He's got it for out number 2. So Tucker had hardly even had to move on that ball. It looked like it was a shot indeed that would go much further when it came off the bat, but it died as it went to that right field side of Oracle Field, and there's now 2 outs. And that will bring up the top of the order, shortstop Adams. The pitch, high for ball 1. Glasnow looking in, getting the sign from Rushing. And the pitch on the way is taken for called strike 2. Two outs. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. High ball. 95 mile an hour. Sinker is actually high for a ball, but they're going to call that a strike. And the Dodgers are not even going to. Actually, the Giants aren't going to challenge. That was way a ball. Dad Dodgers got a gift on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Glasnow looking in. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and down go the Giants. And Glasnow has now retired 7 Giants, throwing a gem, only allowing 1 run through 6 innings. The score at the end of 6 complete in San Francisco, the Dodgers 3, the Giants 0. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, back to live action here. So the Dodgers have looked really good so far in these 6 innings of work here, particularly behind Tyler Glasnow, who is now keeping these Giants in check with 7 strikeouts, only allowing 1 walk with 1 hit. A masterful performance. Let's see if Roberts lets him go out there in the 7th inning. But before that, the Dodgers are up, and they'll be facing Webb, who's out there. And the pitch on the way to Freeland is swung on and fouled off his foot, and he does a little dance there at home plate. So Owen won the count off of his lead front foot. The old adage is if that's fouling off of his back foot, he's not going to be in the majors very long. Okay, so Webb now has thrown 83 pitches. Alex Freeland 0 for 1 with a walk, hitting .203, but has played very well with his glove in today's game. Now the count is 1-1. Dave Roberts looking in. Webb deals. Pitch on the way is a line shot into left field and over to hustle to catch it as Ramos and pick it up and throw it in. But rounding first for the single is Alex Freeland with his first hit of the game. So nice. Hit them where they ain't. Lining it just over the third baseman and shortstop, and before the Ramos, the left fielder, could get it. Ohtani now to the top of the order coming up to the plate. Ohtani's had 3 groundouts and is 0 for 3 actually with a groundout and 2 strikeouts. Uncharacteristic of Ohtani to be striking out and grounding out. He's got to do something here to keep this drive going, this rally going. Waiting in, left-hand side of the plate, low for a ball. Hey, check that. Changeup, 87 mile an hour strike hitting the black part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch on the way is low for a ball 2, 85 mile an hour changeup. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ohtani. The pitch is a Lawrence shot ground ball down to the second baseman, Arias. He throws to the Adams, who back to first to Devers for the double play, and down go the Dodgers. Actually, with a double play, they get the first 2 outs there. As Arias, it's a 4-6-3 double play, nicely fielded and turned by the Giants. In the Giants bullpen is Matt Gage, as Webb now will be serving up his 90th pitch. So 2 outs now, and the pitch on the way is outside for ball 1. Freddie Freeman to the plate, 1 for 3 with a single, hitting .300. 3 homers and 14 ribbies, waiting in the pitch, taken for called strike 1. Actually, 1 ball, 1 strike. 85-mile-an-hour sweeper. Webb looks in, his 92nd pitch on its way. One ball, 2 strikes for Freeman. Top of the 7th inning. Dodgers 3, Giants 0, and only have 1 hit facing Tyler Glasnow. Webb's windup, the pitch, swung on and just tapped away at first base. 87-mile-an-hour changeup. Dodgers 3, Giants 0, 7th inning. One and 2 the count to Freddie Freeman. Webb looking in, deals, delivers. Low, 87-mile-an-hour changeup just missing. 2 and 2 the count. The pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play. 85-mile-an-hour sweeper. 2 and 2 the count. Dave Roberts, 11th season as Dodger manager. The pitch swung on and fouled, actually along the line, waving over as Ramos trying to get it and can't, hitting the netting there in left field and near the stands. He just ran out of real estate. I mean, had that been 1 more foot, he would have caught it. Meanwhile, Webb has thrown 96 pitches, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Freddie Freeman. 2 outs for the Dodgers. Webb's 97th pitch swung on and lined over to the third base side, looking over his Chapman, and again, just in the stands and out of play. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Freddie Freeman's pitches at bat, he's fouled 5 back, a total of 8 pitches that he's had so far. He is hanging tough at the plate, and more importantly, making Webb throw more pitches. Webb looks in, winds up, deals. It's a sharp ground ball hit to the first baseman, Devers. He's going to glove it over to Webb for the first to cover first, and down goes Freeman and the Dodgers. So just like that, the Dodgers are gone 1-2-3 after a double play by the Giants. The score after 6.5 innings here in Oracle Field in San Francisco, the Dodgers 3, Giants 0. We'll be back with Tyler Glasnow facing Arias, Chapman, and Devers in the bottom of the 7th inning after this short break. Okay, so ready for the bottom of the 7th action now for the Giants. Glasnow has thrown let's see how many pitches he's thrown so far. His pitch count is starting to get up there. Not as high as Webb's, but more importantly, he's only given up 1 hit and has struck out 7, allowing 1 walk. So Glasnow coming out for the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's see who the Dodgers will have take over for him into the 8th inning when we get there. Head-to-head, Dodgers have had 1,288 wins. The Giants, 1,290 wins. So the Dodgers falling behind by 2 just with these 2 past games have lost. Luis Arraez checking in. Arraez from the left-hand side of the plate, taken in the dirt. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Glasnow's thrown 87 pitches. Let's see if he can get out of this inning with only throwing less than 100. There's a goal to shoot for Tyler. The pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back and out of play along the left field line. Hernandez picks it up and flips it into the crowd. Glasnow has thrown 88 pitches. We're in the 7th. Arraez, 1 for 1, 308 average. Looking in from the left-hand side of the plate, facing the right-hander Glasnow. The pitch swung on. A ground ball hit sharply to Alex Freeland at first. Throws over to Freeman at first. Actually, Alex Freeland at second. Throws over to Freeman at first. So a 4-3 put out. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Meanwhile, the Dodgers having some action starting now in the bullpen. So definitely, if Glasnow can get out of this half of the inning, they'll go to the pen and see if they can hang on and save it. Meanwhile, first ball swinging. It's a high fly ball to Pages in center. He's waiting. He's got it. And Chapman is down for out number 2. So that was a big help to Glasnow. First ball swinging when the pitcher's already thrown 89 pitches, and his 90th pitch is a pop-up to the center fielder. So that'll make 2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th. So this is a good goal to shoot for now. As I said before the inning started, let's see if Glasnow can get out of here with throwing less than 100 pitches. First pitch on the way is taken for a ball, 96-mile-an-hour sinker high. Glasnow's now thrown 91 pitches. Dodgers 3, Giants 0, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Pitch taken 90-mile-an-hour slider for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rafael Devers, the first baseman, has 2 strikeouts today, and also for the season has 2 home runs. Swing and a miss at the pitch. It's a 90-mile-an-hour slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We are in the 7th inning. Glasnow has still only given up 1 hit. Remarkable, considering he started this game throwing 23 pitches in the first inning. Since then, he has settled down remarkably. The pitch swung on, actually called strike 3 for a slider, 89-mile-an-hour slider, and down go the Giants, and Glasnow gets out of this game throwing 93 pitches, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit. Dodgers leading 3-0. They're coming up in the top of the 8th inning. They'll have a relief pitcher coming for them in the bottom of the 8th. But before we get to that, the Dodgers will be sending up Hernandez, Tucker, and Muncy in the top of the 8th inning. So everything's looking good up until now. They've been a good pitching Dodger team. Let's see if they can hold on to it as they go to the bullpen. We saw the bullpen betray them in Colorado for 2 games. Dodger pitchers pitched fine and well enough to leave with the lead, only to hand it over to the bullpen, and they've blown it. So they blew 2 games in Colorado, and then you really can't blame those 2 losses on the bullpen here in San Francisco that they had earlier, yesterday and the day before. So we move now into the top of the 8th inning. Dodgers have 7 hits, 3 runs, and 1 error. Tarasco Hernandez will be coming to the plate. Let's see who the Giants send out to face them. Meanwhile, in other action around the league, what do we have? Arizona and Chicago are still deadlocked at 1 apiece in the 7th inning. The Chicago Cubs 8 and the Phillies 7. That game has gone final after 10 innings. 1 extra innings there. So the Dodgers have made the maximum out of the minimum with a run in the 2nd and 2 in the 4th inning. The pitch on the way by Tunnel is a high fly ball to the right fielder, Lee. He's there. He's got it for out number 1. Blade Tidwell, now in with 6 games, has a 2.25 ERA, 8 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 home run allowed. So Tidwell trying to keep the Dodgers in check here and not allow any runs, and hopefully for the Giants' sake they can get back in this in the bottom of the 8th inning. But right now, there's 1 out, top of the 8th, Dodgers 3, Giants nothing. The pitch on the way to the right fielder Tucker is taken for a called strike 1. Kyle Tucker's had a full game here, 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and a run scored. Looking in from the left-hand side of the plate, Tidwell's pitch is taken 98-mile-an-hour fastball for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch on the way is check swing. Let's see what it is. The third base umpire says a swing. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Kyle Tucker. Tucker waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate, low and in the dirt for ball 2, 84-mile-an-hour sweeper. So it's a 2-2 count. Tidwell has thrown 5 pitches. He's gotten 1 out and on the verge of getting another 1 out. In the 8th inning, Tucker 2 for 3 in today's game, hitting .247 average for the year. And the pitch swung on and lined foul, 97-mile-an-hour fastball out of play along the third base side. Dodgers 3, Giants 0. Tidwell's pitch taken low for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And let's see if we have an appeal here. The count is full right now. And there will be an appeal by the Giants. It'll be, Jess hitting the corner for a strike. And that'll do it. So Tidwell's got a strikeout. Dodgers now have 2 outs. And up now coming will be Max Muncy as Tucker struck out there by a challenge by just a fraction of an inch. Max Muncy 1 for 2 with a walk, a double, and 2 runs. .298 average, dipping under 300 now. For the year, the pitch is taken for called strike 1. Sweeper, 83-mile-an-hour pitch. Tidwell has thrown 8 pitches so far in this 8th inning. The pitch on the way. Outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 83-mile-an-hour changeup. 2 outs for the Dodgers here in the 8th, leading 3-0 over the Giants. Muncy looking in from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch swung on and missed. 82-mile-an-hour sweeper, 1-2. Two outs, no one on. Dodgers 3, Giants 0 in the 8th. The pitch. It's a sharp ground ball hit down to the second baseman, Arise. He picks it up, throws over to first baseman Devers, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the top half of the 8th inning. But the score remains. The Dodgers 3, the Giants 0, and we'll be back right after this very short break as Ramos will be coming up, Lee, and then the designated hitter, Brennan. Okay, so now let's see who the Dodgers are going to have come in here in the bottom of the 8th inning. This should be very interesting. I know Kleinen gave up the bunch of runs to cost him the game in Colorado, and then the next inning they went to Blake Treinen, and he gave up a whole bunch of runs. Oh, look at this! Tyler Glasnow is out there for 8th inning. Surprise, surprise. And the first pitch is actually swung on and fouled back. I did not see Glasnow going out for the 8th inning. So Dave Roberts has Vesia in the mound. He's going to go with him for the 9th, it looks, or if Glasnow gets in any bit of trouble, Vassier is actually in the bullpen. So it's a 1-1 count. So it looks as though they're going to get Glasnow, who's thrown 96 pitches, face the right-hand hitter right now and see where they go from there. Ramos swinging in from the right-hand side of the plate. Let's see. Ramos is 0 for 2. I think they're going to give him a short leash here. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swit pitch on the way is fouled back and out of play, making the count. It's a 95-mile-an-hour sinker. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Glasnow has now thrown 98 pitches. The fact that he only threw 9 pitches in the 7th inning may have had something to do with Roberts saying, go on out there for the 8th and let's see if you can get 1 out, and then we'll give you 2. Pitch on the way, fouled back and out of play, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. So Glasnow has now thrown 99 pitches. So I don't figure him working much past the 100 mark. The pitch, way outside for ball 3, 85-mile-an-hour curveball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And if he walks this guy, we may see a hook right here. Let's see. What you gonna do with it, Glasnow? Roberts has 1 foot on the dugout steps right now, waiting in. The pitch swung on and missed, and down he goes. So Glasnow roaring back, getting a little extra smoke on that, and knocking out Ramos. So his 9th strikeout, and that'll bring up the right fielder Lee. So, wow, Glasnow, when you least think that you think he might be wobbling and weaving, bobbing and weaving to hang on with 101 pitches, smoked him. Pitch on the way, curveball, knuckle curve, 78 miles, called strike 1. That ball, luckily the Giants aren't challenging it. That was way outside. Lee is 0 for 2 with a there's a high fly ball. Moving over under it is Freddie Freeman at the edge of the infield. Makes the catch in foul territory. And down goes Lee for out number 2. Brings up the designated hitter Brennan. So wow, 103 pitches by Brennan. He's got 2 outs in the 8th. And let's see now if they can get Brennan out. This will be remarkable turnaround, since considering, like I said, Glasnow threw 23 pitches in the 1st inning. Never dreamed he'd be around this late in the game. First pitch on the way, a sinker inside 95-mile-an-hour fastball for called strike one. So no balls, strike one. Glasnow pitches, throws, swung on, a ground ball hit sharply to Freeland. Picks it up, flips it over to Freeman at first, and down go the Giants in the bottom of the 8th inning. As Tyler Glasnow has pitched a masterful game, only giving up one hit and striking out 9, one walk. The Dodgers 3, the Giants 0. We'll be back after this very short break for the top of the 9th inning. So back to live action as Andy Pages hits a little dribbler to the pitcher, throws over to the first baseman Devers for out number 1. So just like that, 1 pitch, 1 out. We are in the 9th inning. Dodgers 3, Giants 0. As Glasnow getting a few handshakes in the Dodger bullpen, some fist pumps. He's done for the day after throwing a masterful 8 innings here in San Francisco. He has put together a masterpiece. Meanwhile, Treadwell back up on the mound, facing Dalton Rushing. Pitch high for ball 1. 82-mile-an-hour sweeper. Treadwell to the belt. Pitch on the way, taken for called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 14 pitches Treadwell's given up. 3 balls, no strikes. Actually, 3 runs for the Dodgers, no runs for the Giants. Pitch on the way is taken outside for ball 2. 99-mile-an-hour fastball, so 2 balls, 1 strike. Now the Dodgers have Tanner Scott, the left-hander, warming up in the bullpen. Pitch on the way is taken outside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Dalton Rushing, hitting .419 in this young season. The pitch way outside for ball 4, and just like that, the Dodgers got a runner on with 1 out. Dodgers 3, Giants 0. They're down to their last 3 outs. And now coming to the plate will be Ha-Seong Kim, the shortstop. Ha-Seong Kim coming off of a nice performance in the World Baseball Championship Series. But now it's all about the Dodgers facing in against the Giants. From the left-hand side of the plate, there's a line shot into center field, and he is aboard. Picked up by the right fielder, but not until the ball is thrown in, and Ha-Seong Kim's at first. Dalton Rushing rounds second and goes to third. So now you have runners on the corners, one out, and Tidwell is in a bit of a trouble right here. That ball was hit into right center field, and as soon as that ball hit the plate, Dalton Rushing knew he was not stopping until he hit third base. So Rushing at third, Ha-Seong Kim at first, and Alex Freeland to the plate. Freeland 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. We are in the ninth inning. 3-0 Dodgers leading. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike one. 80-mile-an-hour sweeper. Alex Freeland waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Tidwell's going to throw over to first base to Devers to make sure that Ha-Seong Kim stays honest and close to the base. He doesn't want Kim going anywhere. At least not stealing that second base and having 2 runners in scoring position. Wants to keep them close there. And the pitch on the way is taken for called strike 2. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So it's now an 0-2 count to Freeland. Freeland has played really well in for the injured Mookie Betts these past few games, particularly with his leather on the field. He has turned double plays, started double plays. He's been quite in the thick of it, and today he's 1 for 2. His average is only .217, but he has really contributed with his glove. Now, waiting in, Tidwell. The pitch, swung and missed, and down he goes. So Tidwell has now struck out 2 Dodgers here in less than 2 innings of work. We are in the ninth inning. Ohtani coming to the plate. Runners on the corners. Ohtani is 0 for 4. So last night he had his 53 consecutive game on base streak snapped. And today, he's 0 for 4. From the left-hand side of the plate, Ohtani waits in. The pitch taken for called strike 1. Meanwhile, Kim just tiptoes himself all the way from first to second base with no throw. And now you have an 0-1 count to Ohtani. And runners at third, runner at second. Ohtani to the plate. No balls, 1 strike. Way outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 99-mile-an-hour pitch. Tidwell's now thrown 23 pitches in 2 innings of work. Tidwell delivers. Pitch! Taken for called strike 1. That looked like it could be a challenge. And indeed, Ohtani's going to challenge and win the challenge. So what would have been 1-2 will now go to 2-1 count right after they confirm it. And indeed, it is Ohtani's way. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Ohtani. Runners now. Dalton Rushing at third, Kim at second. 2 outs, Dodgers 3, Giants nothing. We are in the ninth inning. Pitch swung on to Ohtani and lifted to center field, waiting as Gilbert. He's got it. And just like that, the Giants close the books on the Dodgers in the top of the ninth inning. But now the Dodgers got to put the Giants out of their misery in the bottom of the ninth inning and win this game. And they need to do it quickly because you don't want to give them any confidence or any hope at all. So Gilbert, who made that catch to end the inning there, Dodgers now with a 3-0 lead going into the bottom of the ninth inning. Gilbert, the center fielder who made that catch, will lead off the inning. And then Bailey, and then we go to the top of the order with at shortstop, Adams. So let's see. It looks like, are they going to go with Tyler Scott? Or are they going to go with Versa? They had both warming up in the bullpen. Tanner Scott was the one that was up last. So let's see how they play it. Remember, they've lost Edwin Diaz for at least 3 months out getting surgery and chips removed from his elbow. So you're not going to see him. Forget all about him and his trumpet playing. That won't be happening anytime soon, at least for the Dodgers. He may play his trumpet with his chips in his elbow, but not at least while he's coming in from the bullpen. So thank you for tuning in, watching this game. I duly appreciate you tuning in and giving this channel a chance. If you're enjoying it, please give it a thumbs up. Down to the last 3 outs of the Giants as the Dodgers trying to shut the door on them and take game 1 from this 3-game series and avoid the sweep. Dodgers 3, Giants 0. As Gilbert now will be coming to the plate when we're ready to get back to live action here just momentarily. So now it's official. Who's the man on the mound as he's tying his shoes? And it is indeed going to be Tanner Scott. So Tanner Scott will be getting the call. And I could hear the umpire now calling out his name from the bullpen. Scott! And here we go. This season, 9 pitches and 9.2 pitches. Scott, in 7 innings, has given up 3 hits and no runs. Let's see what you're going to do with it, Scott, right now. The left-hand pitcher has blown 10 saves for the Dodgers, and now they're going to go to the pinch hitter for Encarnacion to pinch hit. First pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back and out of play. Encarnacion is the pinch hitter, hitting .240 this season in 11 games, trying to get something desperately started against the Dodgers. Right-hand hitting Encarnacion against the left-hand pitcher Scott. Pitch on the way. Inside, 97-mile-an-hour fastball swung in and out of play. So now the count's 0-2. So Scott has the count in his favor. Let's see if he can take full advantage of that and close the door quickly. Tyler Glasnow hanging at the edge of the bullpen looking in, seeing is he indeed going to get a win or is Scott going to blow this game? Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back and out of play along the first baseline. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. So Scott has looked decent, throwing his 3 pitches and throwing hard. Scott was the man that the Dodgers had hoped would be their closer last year, and that went sideways. And now they got him out there this year. The pitch swung on and lined sharply to Tanner Scott. Tanner in the outfield, he makes the catch. So Tucker, check that, Kyle Tucker in right field catches it. So there's 1 out. Scott, 1 batter, 1 out. And that will now bring up the catcher, Bailey. Baylor 0 for 2. Flied out, lined out. Hitting a weak 150, hitting under his weight at the plate. Waiting, the right-hander swung on and missed as a 92-mile-an-hour slider goes blowing past him. So Tanner looking in. The 0-1 pitch now on the way to Bailey. High for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 98-mile-an-hour fastball just missing. The Giants are down to their last 2 outs. 2 more outs and the Dodgers will win this game and fly back to L.A. later this evening, a happy team. The pitch on the way for a called strike 2. The Giants are down to their last 4 strikes. 2 outs. The 1-2 count on the way to 1-2 pitch on the way to Bailey. Scott looks in, gets the sign from Rushing. The pitch swung on, and a high fly ball flips the bat in disgust as Chapman waiting under it. He's got it. Pages makes the catch. Check that. Bailey threw the bat away in disgust. And now there's 2 outs. Only 1 more out to go, and the Dodgers can get this win and preserve the gem of a 1-hitter served up by Tyler Glasnow. He was remarkable. So if Tanner Scott can get Dams here, that will be masterful. The shortstop of Dams fouls it back and out of play. 1 more batter, 1 more out for a combined 1-hitter. Can Tanner Scott do it? Looks down, gets the sign from Rushing. The pitch. Ball 1. 99-mile-an-hour fastball for ball 1. So Tanner Scott's thrown 10 pitches. He just needs 2 more strikes. 1 out. All he needs. Here we go. The pitch. Woo! Called strike two. Now, wait a minute. They called that a ball, but tapping his head is rushing for a challenge, and I think he's going to win that challenge. Let's see. The count right now. And indeed, it did hit the black, so that'll make it. The Giants are down to their last strike. Their last strike, and this game is over, if he can do it. Adams waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. Tanner Scott, the lefty, looks down, gets the sign from Rushing. The pitch is fouled away along the third baseline. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. So the tension now mounts a little bit more. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch on the way. Swung on. There's a little ground ball hit to Max Muncy. He gloves it fielding. Throws across to Freeman at first, and down go the Giants. This game is over. The Dodgers win it, pulling it off in fine fashion on Tanner Scott coming in and restoring the order. So the score, as this game is over, the Dodgers 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. The Giants, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, but more importantly, Tyler Glasnow pitching a masterful 8 innings and striking out 9 batters, allowing 1 walk and 1 hit. So that'll more than do it from Oracle Field here in San Francisco. The Dodgers win it 3-0. I'll be back tomorrow at 7:10 when the Dodgers will be in LA facing the Chicago Cubs. That'll be a 7:10 local start time. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel, and I will talk to you tomorrow on the same Never Lost Roamer airwaves. Thank you very much for watching. Good night now.